Hello, I'm the Commander Zander. I remember it so that a sound critic doesn't have to. And neither should you. And welcome to a new segment I like to call Movie Gladiator! This is a new segment where I'm going to be comparing movies quite like my music battles, only in this instance it's movies. Now this one in particular is kind of ripping off the Nostalgia Critic's old segment called Old vs. New, because in this instance I'm pitting the original Pink Panther movie against the revised version in 2006. Why? Well, have you seen my videos lately? I've been obsessed with the Pink Panther, so why not? As you probably know, Blake Edwards and Peter Sellers did, like 5 Pink Panther movies in Peter Sellers' existence. Blake Edwards did 2 more after his death. Yes, I'm technically counting Trail of the Pink Panther as movie before and after his death, because they kind of started before Peter Sellers died, but they didn't release until after his death because it ended up being a tribute video to him. But they did do 2 more after Peter Sellers' death, neither of which weren't that great. The movie franchise went on hiatus until 2006 when they revamped it with you guessed it, the Pink Panther. And obviously they had to have new characters for the Americans because, well, they wanted American actors. So there you go, you got what you got. So with that, I'm going to pit the 2 franchises together, the original versus the revised. Now, one word of caution, one of the comparisons obviously is going to feature a character that was not in the original Pink Panther movie because he didn't debut until the next movie in the Pink Panther series, though he was in the revised version. So just a warning there. But other than that, all is fair in this battle, and it'll be 5 rounds. Here are the comparisons I will be doing. The Clouzos, which one was better? Dreyfus, that's the character I was referring to, because Dreyfus didn't debut until A Shot in the Dark, but I'm still going to compare the 2 Dreyfuses, because, well, Dreyfus is a lunatic. Clouzo's assistant, and yes, I know that Kato isn't technically a detective assistant, but I mean, it's the best I could come up with because he appears more often than the one assistant that appeared the one time in one of the Pink Panther movies. So I'm going to do Kato against whoever the hell was in the revised version. We'll get to that later. Who had the better plot? Because in both instances, the Pink Panther diamond was stolen. So which plot was better? And overall, which one was a longer lasting impact? 5 rounds to pit which Pink Panther reigns supreme. So with that, let's get ready to rumble! Oh, and also I'll be playing a Pink Panther theme in the background. Credit for that video on YouTube goes to Kolos4. I'll mention it again in the description, but I wanted to give the credit while I did. So with that, round 1, Clouzo. Now, obviously, Clouzo was originally played by, well, you guessed it, Peter Sellers, as if I haven't mentioned that before. And, in my opinion, he set the standard for Clouzo. There could be no other Clouzo than Peter Sellers. And you can see right here, by the way, credit for this video goes to Tricon40, and again, I'll mention that in the description, but Peter Sellers made Clouzo the bumbling idiot that he is. Like, with scenes like this.
Others have succeeded. To me, the greater the odds, the greater the challenge.
And he got the French accent pretty nailed down too.
I accept this challenge. Well, I am off to Munich.
See right there how he makes everything so bumbling idiotically? He can't even go through the right door. That's what made Peter Sellers great. Now then, we compare him to this. Sadly, this. This is Steve Martin, who, I'll give him credit, trying to do the best French accent that he could. But I feel like he's trying way too hard, and he's not as idiotic as, say, what Peter Sellers made him. And again, it's tough for Steve Martin because you're filling some pretty big shoes here because Peter Sellers defied Inspector Clouseau. But I will give him credit, at least he's trying, but it's just not the same. So, in this instance, I'm giving this one to the original Pink Panther. Winner, original Pink Panther. Next, we will compare Dreyfus. Now this one, obviously, I have to squeeze Dreyfus in this one. I know that Charles Dreyfus was not in the original Pink Panther, but I still want to do this comparison just to see which Dreyfus was better. Now, Herbert Lom, my God, did he fit the role perfectly for Dreyfus? When he debuted in A Shot in the Dark, he was Commissioner. In Return of the Pink Panther, he was Chief Inspector. By the time we got to the Pink Panther Strikes Again, he was a psychotic lunatic who went out in his way to eliminate Clouseau because Clouseau was a conniving lunatic. And you can clearly tell he's trying to hold it in. But he can't stand Clouseau. He just can't stand the thought of him. And like I said, he turned completely crazy, lost his mind, and by the time we got to the end of Return of the Pink Panther, this is where he ends up getting stuck at. Stuck in an asylum with constant treatments like this one in The Pink Panther Strikes Again to try and regain his sanity. That's what I think of Charles Dreyfus. The man who had it all and lost it because he was obsessed with one man, Clouseau. Now, this Dreyfus, on the other hand, not so great. I don't even care who the hell acted him. He wasn't as psychotic. He wasn't obsessed with Clouseau as, say, Herbert Lom's Dreyfus was. And to be quite honest, he was a fucking douchebag. That's my opinion. And again, big shoes to fill, but in this instance, it really, really, really doesn't work out. As you can see at the end of this scene, he gets hurt. And he kind of loses it. He didn't even play him in the sequel, but yeah, does it really matter? No, I don't think it really matters. Herbert Lom is clearly the better Dreyfus. Point! Original Pink Panther. That makes it 2-0 in favor of the original Pink Panther. We shall now move on to round 3. Clouseau's assistants. Now, granted, Kato technically is Clouseau's assistant because, well, he's being assisted in how to train in karate. Because Clouseau didn't really have a detective assistant when it came to solving crimes. Or at least the Peter Sellers Clouseau didn't have an assistant. So I figured I'd do Kato since he appears more often than not. And this is one of the most famous attack scenes. This is from the Pink Panther Strikes Again. And you can see Clouseau kind of in his karate outfit. Kato is so freaking awesome. And he always gives Clouseau fits. But in the end, Clouseau's always proven that he is indeed the master in karate. But Kato is so freaking awesome, and he helps out every now and then, but for the most part, he's been trained to attack Clouseau in order to improve his karate techniques. Now, in the revised version of the Pink Panther, Clouseau does have a detective assistant. His name is Panther. Gilbert Panther. And in this instance, they do train him to become a detective, because that's what you're supposed to do, train him to become a detective. But quite frankly, how can you go against Kato? Nothing wrong with Panther. It's great that he's a detective assistant for Clouseau, but there's a reason why Kato's been Clouseau's assistant. Where was this in the original one? Who cares if he's being trained to be a freaking detective? I'd rather have Kato because he's constantly attacking Clouseau. this guy really attacks Clouseau. He's just learning how to solve crimes. So with that, I have to give another edge to the original Pink Panther. Point, original Pink Panther. That makes it 3-0 for the original Pink Panther. And that does it for the videos that are on YouTube. We come to the next 2 rounds. The next one is the plot. And in both instances, the Pink Panther diamond is stolen. In the original Pink Panther, it's stolen by the Phantom. And they set up like it's some romance, mystery type deal. And although you know, if you watched the Pink Panther before, you know that Sir Charles Lynn is indeed the Phantom. And he's the one that steals the diamond. But they try and make him innocent. Because technically the princess is supposed to surrender the diamond that Sir Charles Lynn ends up stealing anyways. So they end up framing Clouseau, and Clouseau ends up taking the fall for all this. Whereas in the revised edition, you have Beyonce's character. Yes, Beyonce was in this movie. She hid the freaking Pink Panther diamond the whole time because of her lover. And all this murdering happened because of it, which you didn't see in the original Pink Panther, which was set up so perfectly. This one was kind of like, oh, we'll have a murder here, oh, we'll have a murder there, and in the end, well, it was me. Well, then what's the point of all these fucking murders? If she didn't even murder these people, then, I mean, what's the point of all this? It makes no sense to the movie, and it defeats the whole purpose of the original plot of the Pink Panther. Now, it's great that you're making that plot be the Pink Panther diamond is missing, but if you're gonna make a revised version of the Pink Panther, and I know they try to go outside the box with this one because it's tough to replace the original, or to follow the original, not replace, but follow. But at the same time, you lose the luster that made the original Pink Panther so great. So with that, again, I give the advantage to the Pink Panther original. Point, original Pink Panther. That makes it 4-0, and sadly, the mercy rule does not apply here. We move on to the 5th and final round, and that is the lasting impact of the franchise. I say, without a doubt, the original Pink Panther movie was indeed a lasting franchise. Look what it did in the long-term run. You had A Shot in the Dark, then after an 11-year hiatus, Return of the Pink Panther Strikes Again, and Revenge of the Pink Panther, all before Peter Sellers' unfortunate death. Afterwards, you had Trail of the Pink Panther, which was a tribute movie to Peter Sellers. And then, unfortunately, 2 movies that try to finish the plot of Clouseau being missing and oh, he's dead, and now we move on to his son. They weren't that great. That ended the original movie franchise, and it wasn't until 14 years later did we revamp the Pink Panther. It was okay, good enough to have a sequel, but as you've seen from my Pink Panther 2 review, the sequel was pathetic. It's probably the worst Pink Panther movie of all time, and there hasn't been a Pink Panther movie ever since. Which kind of goes to my next point with the revamped version of the Pink Panther. It kind of ruined and spoiled what was a successful franchise and made it not as great as it was before. Now, granted, towards the end of the original Pink Panther franchises, the last 2 movies weren't that great. But at least you're trying to finish the plot of Clouseau being missing. Clouseau ends up being dead, and now you have your son eventually taking over. Whereas this revamped version just ruined everything that made the original Pink Panther terrific. It had nothing but comedy, which is okay, but the problem is this is pathetic, stupid comedy that no one's going to laugh about unless you're a little kid or are the generations after me and are born with the Steve Martin Pink Panther, in which case they're going to find that one great. But might I recommend the original Pink Panther? Because the original Pink Panther left a lasting impact. It has a trademark of its own. And it pretty much capped off Peter Sellers' terrific acting career. He had many great roles, but this one is the one that people are going to remember the most. Herbert Lom, he had some good movies, but he's going to be remembered for being Dreyfus. It left lasting impacts for actors who were already great in their time, but now they had a character that people can recognize them with. Steve Martin, you're not going to recognize as Clouseau. You're going to recognize Steve Martin for all the other movies that he's been in. And Beyonce, I mean, again, you're not going to relate her to the Pink Panther movies. Nor are you going to recognize any of the other characters to begin with. And oh, they were in this movie, and they really haven't done much other than that. The revamped Pink Panther didn't leave a lasting impact like the original one did. So, again, I give the edge to the original Pink Panther. Point, original Pink Panther. So by a lopsided score of 5-0, I think it's safe to say that the original Pink Panther trumps the revamped version of the Pink Panther. Why is that? Because Clouseau was great, Dreyfus was great, Clouseau's assistant was way better, the plot was way better, and the important thing is, it left a lasting impact for those actors that played Clouseau, that played Dreyfus, that played Kato. You're going to recognize these actors because they were part of the Pink Panther franchise. All you can remember of Steve Martin is, oh, he was in a bunch of movies, but then he ruined the Pink Panther franchise to some extent. Along with a bunch of other actors who you're not going to fucking recognize. And a cameo by Beyonce as the leading lady wasn't really quite a great fit. All that was an excuse to have a song or two for the freaking Pink Panther revamped soundtrack, assuming there is one. So that you can listen to Beyonce all you fucking want because you can't get enough of Beyonce. So with that, that is my music battle. Not music battle, movie Gladiator. See, this is new even to me. So, in the future, I will be pitting movies against each other. Are there any movies that you like that would like to be pitted against one another? If so, leave them in the comments section below. And also, give me your take on which Pink Panther franchise you thought was better. The original or the revamped? And enjoyed this one. Because, quite frankly, the original Pink Panther is way, way, way better in my book. I'm the CommanderZander. I remember it so the nostalgia Greg doesn't have to, and neither should you.